So hello and welcome to the third lecture of this series. In this video, we are going to learn about how to create a class in Python. Alright, so let's begin. Now in order to create a class in Python, I'll be simply typing class, which is default keyword in Python. Alright, so class I'll be giving a name as dog. Okay, so my class name is dog. Now that you have created a class, you need to define something called a constructor. Now a constructor is a special kind of method that will be helping to instantiating an object, okay, using the definitions found in the class. Alright, now in order to define a constructor inside your class, or you can say for your class, just you need to follow this syntax, that is define, which we use this keyword, that is def, for defining functions in Python. And in here we can say we will be using this keyword for defining the constructor or a method. All right, so define underscore init underscore. All right, and I'll be saying inside the like these regular round braces, I'll be saying self. Okay, so in my constructor, that is def init self, there's a reserved method known as init. All right, so we simply say it as init. Now this init is a reserved method in Python, alright, which helps the class dog to initialize all the attributes that will be passed into the constructor of that class. Okay, now if I will be passing like two attributes to my constructor, so this reserved method, that is init, will be helping this class dog to initialize all the attributes that are present inside my constructor. Okay, so inside this constructor. And coming to the self keyword, the self keyword will be allowing each object to have its own attributes and method, or we can say that self is an instance of an object itself. Okay, now in order to pass an attribute inside my constructor, I'll be simply saying that self comma name and say weight. All right, so these are known as the attributes. So this is how we pass attributes for a class inside the constructor of that class. Okay, so attributes are generally known as the characteristics of an object. So think that dog can have a name. All right, so dog have a name, they have a weight around like 30, 35 or 40 kilos. They have age, that is how many years old they are, and we can say maybe they have some spots on their bodies. So that is the meaning of that is the characteristics of a dog. So these are known as the attributes in Python. All right, so these characteristics of an object are known as attributes in Python. Now that we have passed the two attributes to my constructor, so let me just say you one thing about like this attribute. Please don't confuse between this self keyword. Now if I will be asking you that how many attributes that I have passed for my class dog, so the answer will be there are two attributes. All right, so like don't say that self is an attribute. Self is a keyword which is the most important part of a constructor. All right, now if you are defining a constructor, or if you are defining a method inside your class, the self keyword must be present inside it. All right, and after we passed the attributes to our constructor for this class dog, we'll be assigning all the attributes using the self dot attribute, that is name and equals name, and again self dot the attribute name will be weight equals weight. All right, so this is how you just assign all the attributes using the self keyword. All right, so self dot name equals name and self dot weight equals weight. Okay, so now I'll be saying that I'll be creating an instance of my class dog. So the instance of a class, for creating an instance of my class dog, this process is known as instantiation. Okay, so I'll be saying an object. So Frank is an object. All right, or else you can say my dog. So my dog is an instance of my class dog. So you can see it's saying me that this instance will be requiring two parameters, that is name and weight. So the name will be equal to Frankie, and weight will be equal to, I'll be saying 40 kilos. All right. Okay. So in order to like I'll be defining another method, that is def speak. Okay, and I'll be saying self. So self keyword is the most important part, and this method will be returning a print statement. So print, I'll be saying, hey, I am self dot name. All right, and I am I'll be saying self dot weight kilos. Okay, so so I have created an instance, that is I have this object, that is my dog is an object which is the instance of my class dog. So I'll be saying that my dog dot speak. So I'll be assigning this method speak to my object. Okay, so it will be returning this print statement having this string. So I'm in VS Code, that is also known as Visual Studio Code, in short form that is VS Code. So in order to run the file in this editor, there are three ways. Okay, the first way is just in an empty space, just right click and select this run Python file in terminal. All right, or else click this icon that is in the top right corner, that is the green icon. All right, saying the run Python file in terminal. All right, or else if you want to have a custom key binding, okay, so go to the settings icon, head over to keyboard shortcuts and search for run Python file in terminal. So click this first, that is saying that Python run Python file in terminal. Give a custom key binding, whatever you like. So I am comfortable with Control I. All right, so I'll be saying Control I. Here you can see that the output is, hey, I'm Frankie and I'm 40 kilos. Okay, so I ran this program 2 times. All right, so hey, I'm Frankie, I'm 40 kilos. Now you can see that this program is working correctly. All right, so we can give our parameters a value that is name equals Frankie and weight holds an integer that is 40. All right, so we can also add some more attributes to our constructor, that let us say breed, say age, and say spot. All right, so spots. So let us assign all the attributes using the self keyword in my constructor body. So self dot breed equals breed, self dot edge equals edge, and self dot spots will be taking a boolean value. All right, taking a boolean value, either true or false. All right, so I'll be also saying breed equals a lab, and I'll be saying age is equals 12, so 12 years old. So my dog is 12 years old, and spots equal to true. All right, so if I would now say that if I would just I'll be saying that print my dog dot breed, and if I would run this program, you can see the answer, or you can see the output is lab, because I have said that breed equals lab. And whenever I call this parameter using this object, so I assigned this parameter breed with this object my dog, and combine it into a print statement. So print my dog dot breed, that is giving me an output of lab. So instead of saying breed, if I would say age, so it will be 12, and spots which have taken a boolean value that is true. And if I would just run this program, you can see the output is true. All right, so this is how we can create class in Python having our own methods and own attributes. All right, so we can pass own attributes into our class. Okay, so let us see another thing. So I will be saying that def, so I'll be giving another method. So I'll be writing another method. So change weight All right, so I'm saying self weight, and I'll be saying that self dot weight equals weight. All right, so if I would say that, let us just okay, so let us just delete these attributes from over here, that is, and I'll be commenting this all. Okay, all right, and instead of saying breed, only I will be saying weight. So here you can see that initially I said that name will be Frankie and weight will be 40. All right, so now I have defined a method to change my weight, so change the weight of my dog, so dog class. All right, so change the weight, not mine, it's not mine, so change the weight of the dog class. Okay, so if I would just say that my dog dot change weight, and I'll be passing a weight of around 34. all right, and I will be saying my dog dot speak, so instead of saying I am 40 kilos, it will be saying I am 34 kilos. And if I would run this program, you can see, hey, I am Frankie and I am 34 kilos. Okay, so this is how you can work with class. You can create a class, you can give a constructor, you can add some your own methods that I add, like def speak and def change weight. All right, so this is how you can work with classes in Python. So we'll be stopping this video over here. Thank you all for your watching. See you in the next video.